Hey YouTubers, Just1 here again. I have another 1/6 figure I would like to review. It's the new version of Sideshow's. This is Freddy Krueger 1/6 figure. Exclusive. Comes in a lovely small box, which I explained in my videos earlier that I'm sort of appreciating the smaller boxes as they're coming out at the moment because space reasons, and I do like to keep my boxes. Nice presentation of the figure itself, not the movie person, and what I like about it is that's in full colour. There's a nice little undersleeve here. These undersleeves here, I would much prefer a little bit wider. I'll get to the reason why I would like the sleeve a little bit light. I mean, I love the title, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love that. It's fantastic, but a slightly wider sleeve, oversleeve. Right, this is the figure which I'll be talking about. I'm also going to bring in a 13-year-old Jason versus Freddy. Is it, or Freddy versus Jason? One or the other. This is the Robert Englund version without the burnt skin. This is at the beginning of the film where he has the girl in the room where he's just about to kill her. Yeah, this is a 13-year-old figure which is slightly different to the one that we have now, and a much improved one we have now. And there's some pros and cons, and I'll go over that as quickly as well. Okay, well, considering what the figure was 13 years ago, I think Sideshow have stepped it up somewhat to present us with a fairly detailed figure of the burnt Freddy Krueger 1/6 figure. I would have to say, within the two comparisons, for one, they've got their size right because the Robert Englund wasn't 6'4", and they've downsized the figure. I'm just hoping that they don't continue to downsize figures when they're supposed to be taller, because that's one thing where I'm very dubious about when getting figures. If they're starting to cut back on size, I hate if that was to happen. Like like that would ruin my collection. But at the moment, the Freddy suits the Jason that I have from Sideshow, and also pretty much matches the Michael Myers from 3-0. So I'm really happy about the size scale that they have now. Jumper wise, cardigan wise, what do you want to call it, that they've got a sort of more of a real knitted sort of style top with the current Freddy Krueger, whereas they have sort of more of a stretchy sort of tracksuit material, where they've poorly done a triangle cut hem along the bottom of this jumper, and also on the end of the sleeves of the arms, which are curling up and somewhat looks terrible. But so when you're looking at the new version, I love the way they've concentrated on getting it somewhat more close to the movie accuracy. Pants wise, look, I don't have to say much about the pants because the pants are terrible on the old 13-year-old Robert Englund. They're baggy as hell. They just don't suit the figure. Whereas the tighter version of the new Freddy, it's got the sort of skinny looking legs, which he's more suited to in the movie. Like, I do like the way they've tightened up the pants and sort of pretty much got them hem wise right down to the boots. You can pull the pants down a little bit if you whereas comparison to Robert Englund, his pants are almost dragging along the ground. He's like so the things that have changed over the years. The shoes, I'm liking the new version of the Sideshow's shoes from Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street, as the version 13 years ago is more like a dressy shoe. Not really sort of feeling the, the look there. A bit of a point on the end of the boots there, whereas these more of a rounded sort of steel cap style. Yeah. Base wise, look, I like the fact that they still using they were using paint on the older figures stands back then, whereas the stands they're using now are just like this dark print that you can't see. You can bet unless you get it under the right light. The thicker, chunkier base plastic, which is terrible. I'm not a big fan of the way they're doing the bases at the moment, but there is another option if they want to cut expenses, and I know that these figures are somewhat two-dimensional in some ways, and they can get enhanced, or they do give you the option if you wanted to customize it yourself, and if you feel you're I suppose you're talented enough to do that. Sideshow always done that with their figures. For example, this one here, Robert England, definitely needs improvement, but I don't like to customize my figures. I collect them. But as I was explaining earlier on with the sleeve, I can't see why they can't do a little bit bigger sleeve that fits pretty much onto that base. So it gives you the option whether you want to cut it out and fit it onto here. And I can't see why they can't do it. I can go without a sleeve. I can definitely. I can't go without the box, but I can go without a sleeve. So I find it a useless item. It just goes over the packaging inside, and it doesn't really do anything. Presentation wise, it's fine when you open the box and you get it out, but I'd definitely like to do a little stencil around the cardboard and stick it onto here, where I've got the full colour, the name, and all it is a matter of doing after you've stuck it on is going over like a bit of a sealer of some sort, like a varnish or a lacquer, and that would be a really good base for these very boring black stands. So that's my little gripe and my nitpick, I suppose. It saves you going out and buying a base and spending more money. You don't want to spend more money. That's the option of you can have. If Sideshow could step up and do that, that'd be great. Figure wise, I'm going to try to explain what I've done with this figure. It was very easy job. I added this product called FX blood. It's fake blood that they use on Halloween for costume doing, and it's a water soluble liquid, but it's very sappy and very thick. I've applied this to my Freddy to give a little bit more depth and dimension to the opened wounds on his face, whereas it was somewhat flat in the opening of the box when I had a look at it. So I've actually put some of this FX blood in the wounds. If you can see, it's added a little bit more colour to the areas that needed it, and I think it is an improvement. And the good thing about this, and the areas that I've touched up, is just the like you can see the opened areas that have a little bit more red in them, and sort of gives it more depth and sort of dimensional look to it. So it wasn't hard to do. It wasn't a stressful job to do. There was not much. You can see there's a little bit of shine every now and again. You can see in the meat. Yeah. all around the head I've gone, and I've had touch up some parts of the left hand. And the good thing about this FX blood thing, if you don't like it or you feel like it, well, it's not altering your figure in any way, because it can be easily removed by water, so wash off. But it does over time, you know, left alone, dry, like a hard skin. So it, you've got two options there. You know, you can leave it on there, and when it comes time to parting with your figure, if you feel like you want to remove the blood, you can easily wipe it off. Okay, where you have your hands, your opened left hand, you have a closed right hand. You can see I've touched up the bloody parts in that, so a little bit of a shine there, gives a bit more darker red. Your closed fist, your pointing finger, and then you have the hand I've currently got on is the sort of semi-clawing style hand or glove. Then I have the other figure hand is the opened hand style Freddy Krueger hand, and then we have the pointing exclusive hand that you get. Metal blades, which is a bonus with the blood stain on them. I do appreciate the detail that Sideshow have stepped up using the metal instead of plastic blades, whereas the old Robert England 13-year-old one is plastic blades, no bloodstain, but has the option of moving the fingers to whatever shape you would like. You can even do the pointing finger if you would like to. So that was the bonus of this gloved hand, movable fingers, which is not possible with the current figure. You have the option of 3 gloved hands. So there you have it. Pretty much, I'm just going to wrap it up really with the, you can't take the hat off with this Freddy, so you sort of, it's stuck on, but you know, detail to the sculpt. And would I take the hat off? I possibly would take the hat off. It does have the hat off quite often in the movie, so it's disappointing that the hat is stuck on. I'm more disappointed with this one than I am the Jason Voorhees version, where his mask is stuck on, because I probably wouldn't take the mask off anyway with that one. But that is what the downer is for that part as well. With the Robert England, he does have a hat that comes off and on. The downer for that one is that the paint on the inside is scuffing and going onto his head. So you have a scuffing problem there, and that's possibly why Sideshow have decided not to go with the... You could put material in there, or felt, which would prevent the paint from rubbing off, but that's, you know, optional to the person who wants to maybe customize their figures or something. With the old version, you get the book or diary of all his killings and the death of, you know, and then of all these children and stuff, the missing children's. You also have a leather jacket. So you get the hat, leather jacket, book with this old version, whereas with this one, the new version, you get the optional extra 2 gloved hands and optional extra 2 left hands, whereas Sideshow didn't do that with the old figures in those days, not very often. So there you have it, Freddy Krueger. I had a little bit of a say and explanation of, you know, what could be done and what couldn't be done, and sort of gave you a comparison of the two figures from the past and the present. Just made it a little bit different. And don't forget, if you want to muck around with a bit of blood and darkening, just try this, get this product, and it's water soluble. It can be washed off. And it does dry. It gets like a skin to it. So that's your option. It does work, and I've shown you what it can do. So I'll leave it up to you. Okay, so that's my video. Pretty much, I'm liking the figure. I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. You know, it's pretty close. No, I'm gonna change that to about an 8 out of 10 because you should have given me a better base. You know, like, and the hat should have come off. So give it an 8 out of 10. But sculpt wise, I would give it a 9 out of 10 for sure. 9.5 out of 10. I do like the sculpt and do enjoy it, and the improvements of the jumper and the pants and whatnot. So yeah, overall 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 for the sculpt. Okay, well done, Sideshow. Keep up the good work, keep improving, and yeah, appreciate the figure. Test just went out. Gotcha.